Hello students, good morning. I am Kamal Kumar. Today we will start class 9 Maths NCERT chapter 5 Introduction to Euclid Geometry. So you know that in the geometrical figures, about the geometrical figures, we means a lot of geometric figures you have faced, and from class nursery to now the class 9. But what is the, from where it generated and how it came in our life? So I am not going deep in the depth of this Euclid's geometry, but just the important things, how it came in our life in the part of maths, just I am going to say in short. So first of all, there are Euclid's geometry. Before this contribution of this scientist Euclid, Thales and Pythagoras, just we are using the diagrams, we are using the things, but after introduction, after invention of this scientist in the field of geometry, now we are studying, we are doing so many things. So you know, Euclid was a Greek mathematician, and he has written so many books in the field of maths. So on those, in book 1 there are 23 elements, and out of these 23 I have written some 7 elements are there. What are elements? Elements is the things which is collected from the surroundings, around the surroundings, so that is called elements. First element is a point is that which has no part. You know that point is that which has no part. This point means there are no length, no breadth and no thickness. A line is breathless length. Line, you know, breathless length means it has no breadth. You know that when you draw the line, then you measure only length, you do not measure the breadth. So that's why we say a line is breathless length. The ends of a line are points. Whether the line ends, so that is called point. Whether the lines are ending, that those are called points. This when it started, these so many points are there. So whether the lines end, that is called points. A straight line, you can see a straight line is a line which lies evenly with the points on itself. A straight line is a line which lies evenly with the points on itself. Means when you draw the line, there are so many points, so it spread evenly the points. Okay, so means so many points are there. Means to say that there are means many points on the line we find. A surface is that which has length and breadth only. A surface has length and breadth only. Suppose this is the whiteboard, you can see this is whiteboard, this is the surface of whiteboard, so you will see there is length and breadth only. So surface is that which has length and breadth only, there is no height. So because all the surfaces are two-dimensional figure, that's why the surface is a length and breadth only. The edges of a surface are lines. You can see these are the edges. So these are what? These are lines. So edges of the surface are lines. A plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight lines on itself. A plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight lines on itself. Means on the plane surface you can see there are lines, spreaded lines only. Okay, so these were the elements, 7 elements out of 23. Now we will discuss about this Euclid's axioms. First of all, we should know what are axioms. Axioms means the things which are already proved, taken from the granted things. Those things are called axioms. So Euclid's axioms, there are 7 axioms I have written here. First one is things which are equal to the same, things are equal to the one another. Things which are equal to the same are equal to one another. Means if 5 is equal to 7 and 4 is equal to 7, it means 5 will be equal to 4. It means to say that only. Okay, so that's why it is called things which are equal to the same, things are equal to one another. If equals are added to equals, the wholes are equal. Means 5 equal to 5 is there, if and 3 equal to 3 is there. So when you add 5 with this 3 and this portion with this, then this whole will be equal to this whole. So that's why it is called, if equals are added to equals, the wholes are equal. Next, if equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Means 7 equal to 7 and 2 equal to 2. So when you subtract 7 minus 2 and this side also 7 minus 2, the remainder will be also equal. So that's why it is said, if equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Is anything which are coincide with one another. Means suppose 2 lines are there. This line, another 2 lines are there. So when this line coincide with this and this coincide with this, then what will be this portion also will be equal to this portion. That's why it is called things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. The whole is greater than the part. Yes, obviously. Suppose this is the line 5 centimeter and this is 3 centimeter. I have taken from this 3 centimeter. So this part will be smaller than the whole part. So that's why it is called the whole is greater than the part. So obviously this whole will be greater than this part. Things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. Okay? Means if 3 equal to 3, means 2 lines are there, 3 centimeter, 3 centimeter. When you twice it, means double, 2 into 3, 2 into 3, then what will be? 2 into 3 equal to 2 into 3 is 6 equal to 6. That's why it is things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. Next, things which are halves of the same things are equal to one another. When you half, means there are 4 equal to 4. When you divide it by 2, both sides, then you will get the remainder 2. So 2 will be equal to 2. So when you divide the whole things with the same thing, then you get the things which are halves of the same things are equal to one another. So these were the axioms, and after that we will discuss about the Euclid's postulates. What are Euclid's postulates? And those postulates are also very important to know. Okay, let's see. Okay, now you see Euclid's 5 postulates. So first postulate is a straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. There are many points. Suppose 1, 2, 3. Here so many points are there. So when you join, suppose you want to join this point with this point, so always you will get a straight line. If you want to join this line and this line, then you will get a straight line. But when you want to join different points which do not lie on the line will not, you will not get the line straight. So from one point to another point, when you join, you get the straight line. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Terminated line. This line, this is the terminated line because this line ending in the 2 points. You can see this point and this point are the end points. So this is called terminated line. And this line can be produced indefinitely. Means when you, if you want to produce it, both sides you can produce indefinitely. There are no ends. So it means that only a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Next, a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Okay, any center. Suppose this is the center. From here we can draw any circle. And if the length of radius is 2 cm, from this point you can draw a radius. If radius is 5 cm, you can draw another circle. So with the different radius you can draw any circle. All right angles are equal to one another. Okay, right angles means what? 90 degree. So all the right angles will be equal to one another. Number 5 is very important. Let's see. If a straight line falling on two straight lines, okay, makes the interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than 2 right angles. Less than 2 right angles means 180 degree. Less than 180 degree. Then the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of the angles is less than 2 right angles. What does it mean? You can see there are two lines. There are two lines. If a straight line falling on two straight lines, you can see there I have taken two straight lines and one line is falling on the two straight lines. Then the angles taken together means this angle and this angle, if their sum is less than 180 degree, means sum of this angle, suppose this is A and this is B, means the angle A plus B is less than 180 degree, then what will be? It says two right angles, less than 2 right angles, then the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, which two straight line? On which the third line is falling, these two straight lines, when produced indefinitely, which side? Whether the sum of two angles is less than 180 degree, on that side if you produce indefinitely, they meet each other, means on which the sum of the angles is less than 2 right angles, they meet on that side. So this is, and the fifth postulate, means Euclid's fifth postulate also define the parallel lines. Means if two lines are parallel and one is transversal, the sum of co-interior angles, consecutive interior angles is 180 degree. And from this fifth postulate, this concept is coming. So understood? So this was today the introduction of Euclid's geometry, and we will see some problems from the exercises, and very easy chapter this is, and you can do. Okay, thank you.